Welcome back, guys, to Triangle Strategy, where last episode, with the Aesfrosti forces gathering at the Twins Gate to attack Hyzante, and Hyzante readying to attack House Wolford, led by Minister Exham, we checked out two more character stories in Huette and Piccoletta before hearing of Roland's decision on the fate of Glenbrook. With Roland ready to give the kingdom to Hyzante, Frederica and Benedict then pled their own cases for how we should proceed, with the former wanting to strike at Hyzante to free the Roselle, and the latter wishing to ally with Aesfrost to take down Hyzante and instate Serenoa as King of Glenbrook. We now make our route-defining choice.
You are certain Hyzante's army marches for the Grand Norzelian mines?
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
Aesfrost's army gathers at Twins Gate as well.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
There's no need to prepare for war. I have decided that we will surrender the salt crystals to the holy state of Hyzante.
What?
Furthermore, I hereby declare that the Kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings. There is no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals. Which is why I have chosen a path that will allow the greatest number of people to live in equality and harmony.
How could you? Do you not see that Hyzante's dominion over Norzelia's salt is why we are in conflict already? Is the suffering of the Roselle not proof enough that the goddess's vaunted equality is a lie?
She speaks the truth, my king. Handing over the salt crystals is tantamount to giving Hyzante's goddess free reign of Norzelia. Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. A small price to pay in my eyes, in exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
And the sacrifice of the Roselle, is that a small price to you?
It is.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Aesfrost and strike back at Hyzante. The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolf to join us.
Ally with Aesfrost? You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people. So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
I cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered.
None of you can see beyond your own grievances. It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're told to believe in the goddess, while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt. And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort.
Lady Frederica, please. We shall speak of the Roselle in due time.
No, I've heard that before. Your due time is never, and I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more. All else is in disarray. If Hyzante seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people. We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
So we are a distraction to you?
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Roselle would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk. Suppose we succeed. How do you propose we fend off the fury Hyzante will rain down upon us?
Aesfrost would pounce on us, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. We would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolfort domain.
Silence! I have heard enough to know where each of you stand. Do you all hold the courage of your own convictions?
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. I would ask for some time to think on the matter. I understand each of you keenly, my friends. You have not arrived at these decisions lightly, and I do not doubt your convictions. Yet choosing any of the options before me risks creating a schism among the others. I cannot afford to lose any of you, not after how far we've come. Which leaves me only one option.
The scales will guide us, or there must be another way! I mean, I don't like any of the options. It's war, 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 or war. I mean, no matter what, it's war, right? Surely there must be another way. Just literally means, so what about we just win? I'm starting to believe that that is the way. We just fight Hyzante, and we fight Aesfrost, but on our terms, and then we somehow win. That seems to be like the best way to do things at the moment for Norzelia. It's like we risk it. The complete and utter gamble. Wouldn't the scales seem to be the equivalent of flipping a coin? Well, it's it would have to be a three-sided coin at this point in time. There must be another way. I take it the white choice is the right choice. I'm confused. I mean, it's glowing.
Nay, I mustn't give in so readily. There must be another way. One that will bind us together, not tear us asunder. Now then, to find it.
I mean, no matter what, it has to be military to start with.
Certainties first. We cannot afford to relinquish control of the salt crystals to any one nation. Salt necessarily belongs to the people, and on that point I shall not waver. There must be a way to bring about the lasting peace Roland desires without the need for Hyzante's warped teachings. Hyzante moves to take the Grand Norzelian mines as I contemplate this. It must be stopped. They will no doubt make an ostentatious show of power in an attempt to intimidate us. What's worse, they'll soon be at our door, and we'll not defeat them with our army alone. Surely there's a way we can hold them off.
Start them out in a war of attrition. Well, that's not going to work for us. Yeah. Well, I can't get... Well, I definitely don't think we can start them out of war of attrition. I very much doubt we can wash them away with water from the Norzelia River, considering the bend of the thing. Which way does the river run, by the way? I thought it goes like that way and outwards. How do we break the dam and get the water that way? I mean, is the option now to burn everyone alive? But that bricks my town too. I try so hard to keep that town alive. But considering the context of what he's saying, like, no matter what, the way this has to start is we have to be able to defeat both armies before we can even get to, like, talking, it feels like. So we need to... So here has to play it. We have to fight at least Hyzante with what I consider to be our main force of Glenbrook. We then have to get Svarog to turn fully, which he looks like he's going to do anyway because he wants to use the Death Knell on Gustadolf to defeat Gustadolf. with maybe some help. That's the base of everything. We can't even negotiate until those two things happen. There has to be death before there is any progress here. Which sucks.
The wildfire, of course. We'll draw them into the village and set the vast majority of their forces alight. The Hierophant will never relent, however. Hyzante will bear down on us with the full force of their army. We've no chance of winning a protracted war. Hyzante must fall, and quickly. We need Aesfrost. We need the Death Snow. 'Tis the only way we'll pierce the goddess's shield. I hardly relish the thought of asking Gustadolf to come to our aid. He'll no doubt demand the salt crystals in return. Who might help us get our hands on that weapon?
So these questions are incredibly leading questions, aren't they? They really want you to lead you to one position. Mr. Lila of the Ministry of Medicine? Yeah, okay, sure. Have we no choice but to bend the knee to Gustadolf? No, Lord Svarog. We need him. We worked on that. We went to Aesfrost for that.
Lord Svarog, yes. He's swore to fight alongside us. It's time he made good on his word. We share a common enemy in Gustadolf. He'll be a boon.
Duh.
There is still the matter of how we invade Hyzante and incite the Roselle to rebel.
I mean, we could expose the truth hidden within the goddess statue. We have to get in there first. Perhaps we could press our case with the people of Hyzante. That's not going to work. They're kind of like, they like their equality. They actually like their life because they don't really necessarily know how much the Roselle are suffering to provide them with the life that they have. If we can gain entry to the palace, we can assassinate the Hierophant. Okay, sure. There's like a few others of those Saintly Seven, which I'm pretty sure could do the job. It looks like Extherm's the one that's coming. We need to just show the salt. Because we're basically using the information that we've got thus far, right? We do need to get the Roselle themselves to rise up. And we need to shatter the faith. And like, if we shatter what the establishment's built onto, you can kind of expect riots and all that.
Yes! We'll blast away the statue and reveal Hyzante's lies for all to see. If the Rosellan legends are true, an enormous pillar of salt rests within the goddess's statue. Revealing that will prove that the Roselle spoke truth all these years. Goddess and Hierophant alike will lose all claim to authority, leaving them open to a revolt from a united Roselle. And now we have the means to make the explosives that will bring Hyzante to its knees. Just one problem remains. How will we manage to pass through the goddess's shield? No banner could pass into Hyzante without arousing suspicion. Unless...
They're of Travis's crew. They're of the Roselle. I guess that could kind of work. We all dye our head pink. So, a group of people with a banner that could pass through the gates unimpeded. Bandits? No, probably not. Roselle? Well, yeah, they'll get to pass through, but in chains and be thrown into slave labor. And considering we just had a random scene with them, which I think we had a scene earlier on, but I can't even remember it now. As traders, we're going to masquerade as traders. We're going to ask them to help us get in there so we can do the thing, right?
Unless they've no banner at all. The consortium, of course. One glimpse of the salt crystals ought to bring Claris to the table. So long as I play to his self-interest, the rest will follow.
This is why the game had that scene recently.
I have it. I've found a way to give everyone what they want most in one fell swoop. The salt crystals will belong to all, and not just a privileged few. The people of Norzelia will finally be lords and ladies of their own making, masters of their own destinies. Benedict's fervent desire to protect the domain's integrity, Roland's yearning for equity, Frederica's resolve to free her people. I hear you all, my friends. You're not alone. Nor are the countless others who look to me at this late hour. If ever there were a time to heed my father's last words, it is now. I must forge my own path and lead my people. The scales cannot save us this time. The words of my closest confidants have revealed a way forward that the scales never could. All that remains is to convince them to follow me down the path I have made. As Lord of House Wolford, I solemnly swear an oath by which all future lords shall be bound. I will never turn my back on the promise of a better world.
Greece could passions move is complete. And by the look of the chat, I chose correctly. You mean I actually paid attention to the game's sceneries? What it was trying to tell me at each point in time? I'd like... Okay. I will ask now. Because now I can know. Because I'm guessing I'm on it, considering the way that people is saying it. Like, yeah, you didn't fail the Pillock litmus test. Because you can choose the right answer out of some very not necessarily right answers when the questions were super leading. They were super duper leading. Well, there we go. What were the steps that I had to do then? Tell me now. If I'm definitely like on it and there's not more to do. Anyway.
Thus did Serenoa ascertain the Scale's true purpose. Taking up the mantle of his late father, Lord Simone, and the ill-fated Dragan, Serenoa returns to present his allies with a bold new vision for Norzelia's future.
Chapter 17, Part 2, Those of Aspiration has begun.
I have made up my mind. We turn the salt crystals over to no one, but we do not keep them for ourselves. Instead, we distribute them equally to every person across Norzelia and change the face of the continent.
Do you hear yourself?
Do you mean this sincerely, Serenoa?
What of the Roselle?
I speak my conscience, and I promise I have not forgotten the Roselle. Pray, grant me the time to explain my strategy. We must put an end to the teachings if we are to release the salt to all Norzelians. Which is to say, the holy state of Hyzante must fall.
So we are to take up Benedict's proposal?
No. I propose we attack on 3 separate fronts.
At the same time?
We will use our domain's wildfire to prevent Hyzante from capturing the mines. Meanwhile, I wish to negotiate an accord with Aesfrost that affords us use of the Death Snell. I know full well the risks involved. However, I believe we can convince Svarog, who opposes the Archduke, that an alliance is worthwhile. Finally, we expose the falsehoods that prop up Hyzante's precious teachings and incite another Rosellan uprising. In one fell swoop, we can abase the Hierophant and throw the capital into chaos. That accomplished, we shall sack the holy state with Aesfrost at our side. With both the source and the crystals in our possession, no one in Norzelia will ever want for salt. We can bring peace, equity, and stability to all Norzelia, just as Roland envisioned. We can restore the Wolffort name to its former glory and usher it into a new era, as Benedict desires. An era, my dear Frederica, in which the Roselle shall be free once and for all. What I ask may sound impossible, but we have survived long odds before. Let us cling together and do so once again. Do any present have objections to the path I have set before us?
None from me, lad. You've quickened the very blood in my veins.
Permit me to speak plainly, Your Majesty. I am in agreement with Lord Serenoa.
We cannot dream our desires into reality. Some things must be fought for and won.
We've tried your way, Benedict. It's time we tried something new.
What say you three?
I am ashamed to admit that my obsession with the domain's safety may have blinded me to more aggressive solutions. Your plan is audacious, perhaps even reckless, but it is not impossible, and may well be worth the risk. House Wolffort is better for having you at its helm, Lord Serenoa.
The fate of my people always felt so small compared to the war raging around us. Yet you would still choose to walk a dangerous path, rather than cast the Roselle aside. It would be my honor to fight alongside you, and see this through.
I honestly thought Hyzante would rule better than I could. That they would bring prosperity to Norzelia. I shrank from my duties and lost myself to the idea of revenge upon Gustadolf. I may well have betrayed my own kingdom. But you, Serenoa, opened my eyes to the truth. And for you, my friend, as King of Glenbrook, I shall face any enemy and lead our people to glory.
Then we've no need of the scales. Our path is decided. From here on out, we shall split into 3 regiments. Allow me to explain the role each has to play. I pray that clarifies what each regiment needs do. Prolonging the war risks slowly driving the 3 kingdoms to ruin and starving their people in the process. Not to mention, all involved will lose sight of what they were fighting for, if they haven't already.
Agreed. 'Tis for the good of all if we bring it to a swift and decisive end.
And so we find ourselves contemplating war on 3 fronts.
Hyzante and Aesfrost aren't expecting such drastic action from us. The element of surprise may deliver us victory.
As will the leader of each regiment involved in this gambit.
I shall lure the Hyzantean army to their doom here at Castle Wolffort.
Svarog knows who I am, and swore he would fight alongside me. I shall depart for Aesfrost and hold him to his word.
Pray, let me be the one to journey to Hyzante. I would love nothing more than to expose their false idol for all to see, and lead my people to rebel in the name of freedom.
Then I shall secure the help of Claris of the Consortium in exchange for information about the salt crystals. He can secret you inside the capital and provide you with explosives enough to fell the goddess. Though we fight on distant fronts, we are bound together in spirit. We fight to the last for Norzelia!
For Norzelia!
Meanwhile,
No, it can't be. General Avlora? Of the Aesfrosti army?
Former General. I come to you now as a citizen of Norzelia. Nothing more. I come to House Wolfort in search of sanctuary. I beg you, have the mercy to take me in.
Wait here.
General of Laura, we thought you missing.
Indeed, it was your actions that caused my brief disappearance, though I bear no grudge for how the battle ended. This time, however, I come to you with a humble request. I wish to join your ranks, if you'll have me.
You wish to defect? To what end?
That we may bring this fraught and fractious chapter of Norzelia's history to a close. I would see those of Lady Cordelia's generation preside over an era of peace and tranquility. You've every right to doubt me when I say Lady Cordelia has touched me. But I swore to be her sword forevermore, not Aesfrost's.
We have long been enemies. You've taken much from us in Aesfrost's name. I know you to be many things, General of Laura, but a schemer and a liar are not among them. I trust that you speak true, and your talk of a swift end to this conflict appeals to me. We are of the same mind.
My lord.
Nevertheless, it remains bad blood between us. There may be some within our ranks who are less than pleased to see you.
I expect there will be. I understand their hurt, and have made my peace with it. I will suffer their slings and arrows gladly, if it means bringing peace to Norzelia.
I admire your conviction. In truth, we have already arrived at our decision. Your strength is a boon we can neither hope to replicate nor replace. I welcome you, General of Laura, to House Wolfort.
My sword is yours, Lord Serenoa.
So, we have Avlora, the Destroyer. Complicated conversation going on there. Avlora's aptitudes in battle, a fierce fighter willing to risk even her own life. Stats increase when her HP is low, boasts an incredibly powerful attack, though it is not without danger.
Now, Serenoa, let us divide House Wolfort into 3 regiments.
I leave the allocation of forces in your capable hands.
Choose wisely. Once the plan is in motion, we won't have the luxury of adjusting our strategy.
Understood.
It's interesting seeing Avlora stand at my right hand. All units will be divided into 3 regiments. Each regiment will fight its own separate battle. Can I not decide right now? Well, I think that's a lot to decide upon and a lot for me to do. How many people do I have? Oh God, like... one group will have to fight with 7 guys? Yikes. And I kind of need to like level them up a bit more, to be honest, to get them ready for battle. If Laura's come in at level, 28, so that's not too bad. Spare no effort, raise your strength and evasion, but lower your physical defense for 3 turns. Your physical damage to enemies costs 3 horizontal squares and lower their evasion and movement for 3 turns. Risky maneuver takes my HP to deal big physical damage. Big physical damage. Desperate Strike powers me up. Below 50%. She does have the Desperate Defense too. 300 HP ain't bad. Can we save? Nope. We cannot save. I need to kind of figure things out. What I'm doing here. and see about, like, improving our troops. Level 27 is my highest guy at the moment. I kind of need to figure out how everyone is going to be and how they have power. So what we might do is we might end it here and resume next time, because all I've got to do is go back for the save points to get back to where we were, after all. I might grind up some of our lower level guys like Flanagan, etc., to be at least probably 26, if not 27. And then we'll sort out where everyone's going to go. Because, well, let's put it this way for starters. Medina, Gila will be in one group each. And Hossabara and Nav will be in the other, is how I'm, like, looking at it to begin with. But you kind of want one tanky guy, one physical guy. You want, like, a mix of people. So we've got to really work things out. So, join me next time as we sort out our regiments. In fact, I'll probably have already come up to a decision. And we move forward with the story. As Triangle Strategy continues, now supposedly on the Golden Route. We got it. With my safety net of the chat, thank you very much. I'm still curious about what each of the things were. We will find them out. How lucky I was to get it or how not. I'm just following the prompts of the storyline. It's all good. So, I'll sort this out and I'll see you guys next time for more, as we're going into what seems to be crazy battles with not many people. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.